folks.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
I don't know about everybody, but I'm doing pretty good.
Doing good, good, good.
Can't ask for much better.
We're going to get the party started tonight. This will be officially the last show for today's
Of the
bite
year.
of 2025.
Gosh, yeah. I didn't even think
Man,
about that, but right. How did
it
another one
is
slip by? How did another one go by like that?
it is
Me, oh
time
my.
flies, especially as you get older. You'll see.
Oh, tell me about it. I think what it is when you have a kid, then you realize how fast time actually flies. You got a little
Absolutely.
time clock there.
Appreciate everybody joining in. I'm gonna make sure we get on Facebook good here and live. I hadn't seen Facebook folks yet clicked on, but we're going to get the party started. Like I said, last show of 2025, today's bite. Special thanks to Bobby Garland Bates for putting together today's bite with Dustin and myself.
Absolutely.
We got, this might be the last show for this year, but we're geared up to do it again next year as well.
You
So,
bet you. We're ready to
um,
start next Tuesday, ain't we?
absolutely. It'll be here before you know it. That's the thing.
Oh my gosh, you are right.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about crappie fishing as usual. Make sure if this is your first time watching today's bite, you got questions about crappie fishing, we're here to help you guys out. So let us know if we can help you out as far as crappie fishing. We'll be glad to answer all the questions that we can. And I can promise you as well, we've got great guys that get on here every single week and comment and help out with the comments. So if you got the questions, please ask them. And also, we like knowing, hey, this is your first time watching today's bite.
Where you're from and how your bite's doing. We
Yeah,
got to get some
yeah,
fishing reports too. Don't forget them. I want
we
to
do.
know if anybody else is having some luck. This weather's been so crazy. It's almost like you're either killing them or you're struggling. It's one extreme or the other right now.
Yeah, I got to fish 2 days last week. We're going to talk about it, kind of what I
Oh,
saw in the lake. And I've been up here at Lake Washington redoing my cabin, and man, I'm so close to being done with it.
oh, it looks
And,
good, looking
and I
good.
cannot wait to show everybody. There's been a lot of work put in, and it's definitely coming together. So can't wait to show you guys. But we're going to talk about how the bite's been, everywhere. So if you got a fishing report, we'd love to hear it. John Mayo, he's always on here giving us reports. Tim, Steve,
Brandon Thomas,
Stephen,
I know he'll be on here with
he's
fish
on here.
report.
Billy,
You bet.
I mean,
He
you
went
name it. We
fishing
got a lot of good
today.
guys tonight
Yep.
already chiming in. But we'd love to see those 25K Crop Connection hashtags. It gets the party started. And like I said, first time viewers, we'd love to know you guys. Even,
You bet.
and I seen a comment last week after the show, and I'm trying to one of the comments that I got, and it was off YouTube, kind of like the cleanup crew. Even if you're watching at a later date, we'd like to hear from you guys as well.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
chime
You
in,
know who I'm
even if
ready
it's
to
not
hear
live.
of is John Mayo. I got a feeling he's catching some hammers if he's been out.
Hmm.
It's kind of that
Hmm.
time of year. He starts coming in with some crazy fishing reports, so I'm ready to hear what he's been catching.
Mike Martin, he said, if anyone fished in the last couple of days, they fought some wind.
Ooh wee,
It's kind
he's
of been
right.
that way for us. It's been really high wind, and also we'll have some days that, like today wasn't that bad. You could have fished pretty easily today, but you go back to Sunday and Monday, you better have the right gear out there to get out
Yeah,
there and
yeah.
to fight that stuff. But
It's
you
almost like
know,
if you have nice warm weather, it's windy, and if it's super cold, you'll get a low wind day.
mhm,
Hmm.
it's definitely challenging when it comes to wind and these
How's your
cold
weather out there right
conditions.
now?
Today was chilly. I mean, I would say maybe low 60s, somewhere in
Oh
there.
my goodness.
It,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't bad.
We had a real extreme. I mean, I say extreme, but it's been in the teens at night, and then the high
Mm.
30s. So we've had some real cold weather. Yeah, we just got zapped with a little cold front. So we'll see what them fish are up to after this. That's coming. We got a stretch of nice weather coming up though in the 50s. So we'll see.
Well, let's hear about your today's bite fish report. How's it been going over
Man,
there in Oklahoma?
I'm thinking I may have went once since we've talked last, and it's still the same exact story. The fish are so deep, thankfully, that this weather doesn't really mess with them too much. When you're 50 foot down there, it's hard to mess up your water temp that far down. So I think that's maybe why they go so deep this time of year at Grand.
Stable.
Um, yeah, it's just a stable water temp down there, and it's kind of the same bite. They're really aggressive and eating when you find them and can get a bait in front of them. And the bigger the bait, the better, because you're throwing so far away or so far down at those fish. If you miss by 4 or 5 foot, you want something big they can see it in easy way. So The slab hunter, full size slab hunters are doing really good, and I'd be using like a live minnow or something natural with the clear water. But that's my Grand Lake. I'd be throwing half ounce or quarter ounce weight above that too. I mean, you're throwing a lot of weight down there to the Roman fish. Now, if you can fish on docks, 12 to 20 foot, actually 30 foot. I talked to a guy when I was cleaning fish that was catching really nice black crappie 30 foot under docks. It was just a slow bite, but he was catching some very big fish for Grand Lake. So they're still in there, and they're doing all
Yeah.
right. And he had a handful of hammers, so they're still going good.
And, Nick shows, and the question he said, I'm sure it's about more of the programming, but question, how can I show 2 likes and it shows 106 people watching? It's just because it's getting started. We're going to get up there and we're going to try to hit that 250 mark between the two platforms. And right now we got 82. So, guys, I love it that you're hitting the button. And Dustin didn't have to beg for them tonight yet.
Hey,
So,
I haven't yet. No, we're
not
early.
yet.
Yeah, I don't start begging for them likes until about halfway. So just give it time, and
Yeah.
I'll be doing that. But yeah, I've also learned that like button down in the corner, even if you hit it several times, I think it only actually counts as one. But then
Hmm.
you can hit it to show on our screen. We see you guys hitting the likes though, and we sure
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. You
Even
can
if
see
you
them
hit it a
pop up.
thousand times, yeah, it pops
Yeah.
up.
Um, got Greg Guppy guy. That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, I like
Hammer of
it.
the day, Northwest Louisiana. Hand tied jigs 2 inches off the bottom, laying
Ooh-wee.
fish laying on the bottom 100%. I love that kind of fish
Oh
report.
yeah, yeah,
Northwest Louisiana. Let's take a guess. That would have to be over in what Shreveport area.
yeah.
Uh, I'm trying
Gosh,
to Cato. Am I gonna guess right? Cato Lake, maybe somewhere in
I
there.
never heard of that lake. I'm trying to think of lakes that were around there when I went and fished it. I can't even remember. Gosh,
I
yeah, I
know.
remember a couple, but yeah, the fish off the bottom though just seems like that's going to be happening for a while,
Hmm.
especially with this colder weather and everything. A lot of bottom oriented fish. When we get that first stretch of spring weather coming in, they like to pull up and just be under that surface and be fired up. I'm excited for that.
For me, last week I fished 2 different days out on Ross Barnett. And haven't fished it a whole lot this winter, but I kind of had a game plan, and I told you guys even last Monday night that I was really going to concentrate on the River Channel, and that's where I started out our day on Tuesday last week, and found fish suspended, and found some sitting right off the bottom as well. Not much on structure, a few fish. Fish on structure really wasn't doing a whole lot for me, and we went out and just really concentrated on Roman fish. But kind of the area that I fished was on the northern part of the lake, kind of where it necks down and gets up towards the bridge area. And we had a question last week: if you had one area just to concentrate
Yeah,
on a new body of
welfare
water,
hole.
bridge is a
Yeah.
good area to do. And it was loaded with fish, but the only problem that I found up that way was nothing really big. I mean, we caught one 13.5 inch fish, and a lot of, I'm gonna say 9 to 10.5 inch fish. Found a lot of
Hmm.
those, and could
Heck,
catch
them are
them.
good. Do you have a 10-inch limit, or can you keep
No,
those?
on
I
Ross
tell you
Barnett,
what,
it's no
man,
size
don't
limit.
don't doubt them 10-inch fish. Them some good eating fish. They're perfect
Uh,
size. I always say, bigger than a bean, they'll clean. So you just put the knife to them, buddy. Put the knife to
well, that will
them.
work too.
Oh yeah.
On Wednesday, Christmas Eve last week, I said, well, I'm gonna try a whole different part of the lake and go off somewhere else. And started out that day, and anybody around, I'm sure in the South last week, extreme fog, and
Mm,
I made a mental note last week to kind of even talk about fog and the safety. And I could hear boats running last week, and this fog literally you couldn't see 100 yards. It was
hmm.
so thick, and guys are running by GPS tracks. And I get it. I mean, I know that's how you're planning on running, but man, I'm sitting out in the lake and I was
There ain't
petrified.
no way. Yeah, yeah, there ain't no way.
Petrified.
Yeah, you have a hard time talking me to just sitting out in the lake in that, but better yet, running in it. And
Wow.
I'm pretty crazy, but there ain't no way. You're first of all, your GPS tracks like running at night, how them people fall that. There's nothing stopping anything from not being in your way. It blows my mind how people do that. There ain't no way. A new floating log or anything, anything could be
Well,
there.
it was probably one, and I fished in high winds and pouring rain and
Yeah, I'm
everything
out
else,
on
but
fog. That's the only thing.
extremely foggy conditions. I was probably the most uncomfortable I've been a long time fishing, just for the
Oh yeah,
simple fact, and I idled to where I could get to,
yeah.
and but hearing boats running in the
Oh yeah.
distance,
Oh
so it kind
man,
of
that would
dictated
be crazy.
last Wednesday where I decided to fish because I was like, all right, where can I go that I know these guys are running by GPS tracks. So I went to a stump field on the backside of the stump field thinking, all right, this makes
Yeah.
sense on the safest spot to be on this lake. But
Hmm.
I would highly suggest if you get on the lake and it's really foggy, one, don't run or get anywhere near uh, navigational pass. But it was, you know, it was just very alarming to me last week,
Yeah.
guys running out
Yeah.
there like that.
That's crazy you were hearing that. That, like I said, there's no way that if someone was floating in the navigation route that you could stop in time.
No,
There's no way.
no,
Zero chance. So that's where I
zero.
don't get what people got going on with that. It's crazy.
It was one of the scariest days I've been on the water in a
I
long
could
time.
argue for days on the fog stuff. Seeing people running that just blows my mind. But
But
yeah,
we had my mind's always about, hey, I want to be safe. I got to be safe. I've got people I'm taking out fishing. So safety was number one of my concern for last
yeah,
Wednesday because of the fog. And honestly, the fog didn't lift last Wednesday till I'm going to say between 11 and 11:30.
yeah,
So
yeah.
4 hours we're sitting in fog, dense fog.
Man, that's tough.
But
Should have went and ate breakfast. Let that lift up.
well, I mean, yeah, it was
I hear
Christmas Eve.
you.
We had to get back home.
Oh
Everybody had
yeah,
things to do
yeah.
that
You're right.
afternoon. But
Yeah, yeah.
got Ed Carter. He said mid Tennessee fish report caught 40 11 to 14-inch fish, water temp 45, all caught on hand tide.
That's a
That
solid
makes
bite.
sense to me.
You bet.
Mr. Charles Henderson, I seen Mr. Charles on the lake last week, and I got him some Crappie Connection stickers. So if you guys need some Crappie Connection stickers, plan on being at Grizzly Jig the end of January. We'll be up there,
Ooh,
and I'm
I
gonna
about
bring
forgot
some
about that
Crappie
already.
Connection stickers with me. Don't
In
forget
January,
about it, Dust
I
Down.
know I need to put that in my calendar as we speak. That's what I'm gonna do.
We definitely
What
need
are
to
the
do
dates
that.
on that bad boy?
Now, let me get my phone
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. Pull that up because I better do that ASAP.
Yeah,
Come up
it's
there
gonna be
and
a fun
everybody
time.
spread the flu.
29th through February 1st should be the
Okay,
dates.
perfect.
So it's
29th
coming
through
up real
1st.
soon. But Mr. Charles says nothing like ending the year and starting a new one with the Crappie Connection. Absolutely, I
That's
cannot
right.
agree no more.
You bet. Gosh, we're gonna have a New Year's goal. We got to set a New Year's goal. What we're gonna want to do.
Mm.
I didn't even think about that, but we have to. It's like a thing. You gotta in the crappie fishing world. What's everybody's goal for 2026? Oh
Six.
my gosh, unbelievable! I'm a
Yeah.
fishing guide. I don't fill out enough paperwork, so
Eric, he says 12 degrees this morning in wind. No fishing
that's
for
where we
this
were.
old man.
Yeah,
It's gonna be days like that right now. But
I'm with you there. That was us this morning.
I'm with you too.
It was cold, cold.
Charlie, he from YouTube. Schools on structure and 14 foot suspended 8 to 10 foot deep. Itty bit slab hunter on threadfin on Christmas Eve. That sounds like a
That's a Christmas special.
Christmas special. I'll take that.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know if it gets much better than catching a mess of crappie before Christmas, day before Christmas. We were so blessed with the weather. Our Christmas, Brad. I don't know about yours, but our Christmas was in the 70s. We were like
Yeah.
75 degrees. It was unbelievable.
It was really warm here until we had a front move through Sunday night and it cooled it back off. But before then, I mean, t-shirts and shorts all day long. Steve said
Here we
temperature
go.
dropped 30 degrees from noon Sunday to 5:30 that evening.
That was here.
It's that whole
Same here.
front move through. John Boat, Sandy Cooper checking in, caught my limit all in grass beds. Very interesting. Biggest was 1.76. I heard another report brought across the river from me where I'm at now. Then I won't lay it all out, but heard some guys doing really well in uh, 3 to 4 foot of water last week,
Dang, where at?
right across the river from me. I'm at Lake
Oh man,
Washington. I won't
that's
spill the
crazy.
beans all the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. You don't want it. You don't want 50 boats there tomorrow, do you? You might have to go enjoy that yourself. So
Well,
where we at on comments, Brad? I'm back. I got something to read them now. So
I'm still way up. You're still probably ahead of me.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, go ahead. You just keep rolling. Then when I see you catch up, then I'll help. That's my bad. I was out of commission for a minute.
Brandon Thomas, all the main lake rivers hot fishing right now in, I guess it would be northeast Oklahoma areas.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Bobby, Miss Linda, thank y'all for joining in tonight.
Every time you
Happy
mention them,
New
I think of
Year's as
them
well.
turnip greens. I think of them greens.
That's
I still am getting some stuff about that. I got a couple recipes yesterday from somebody though that looked pretty good. So one of these days I'm gonna try that. Maybe when I come up there, we go to a Grizzly Jig. We'll be finding some turnip greens somewhere.
I guarantee if we ask enough people, you will get some greens at
I guarantee
Grizzly Jig.
it. The
I would
worst
just
part
about
is though,
guarantee it.
don't make me try them in front of you. I'll go home and
Oh,
try them. That way I ain't
no.
gonna look bad if I have to spit them things out.
No, no, no. You won't spit them out.
Oh man.
Oh, let's see. Wendell, he said, had a limit Saturday on Kentucky Lake, 20 to 30-mile-an-hour winds. Fish moved up with the sun. Caught on itty bit monkey milk. A 1/8, I don't know if a 1/6. A 1/8 ounce had a cast. It was very rough. Man, 20 to 30-mile-an-hour winds
I
definitely
bet he
got to be
missed.
tough.
I bet he missed a one, and it was 1/16, maybe 16th.
Maybe a 16, yeah.
That's what I'm betting. That's why it's probably so hard to cast. Um, I'm gonna jump in, Brad, and you can just keep rolling. I'm on. Randy
Yeah.
Watkins says Falls Lake, North Carolina, 45-degree water temp, 16th ounce, double silver rainbow, and yes, some bleeding shad also get you some.
Mm,
That's what I'm talking about, Randy.
hmm
A little shout out to the killer color right there. Bleeding shad and double silver rainbow are two dynamic duos for
If you,
Bobby Garland.
let's, and I don't think we mentioned, like, what would be your 25
Oh yeah,
year color?
color.
Let's. I'll give you three. What was your
Gosh,
top baits of 2025?
that's such a good question. I mean, a solid one. I'm trying to think. There was a time, like for 2 months, I just used a one color so hard, but I'm trying to remember which one it was. I know one's going to be double silver rainbow and bleeding shad, but I used an off the wall color. Well, in Grenada, that Wonder Bread baby shad is a killer too, just because it stood out. It caught that monster crappie. But
We've heard.
goodness, was it fried shad? Maybe it was. When we had some flooded water, and I believe it was fried shad. I may be wrong. Some clients will remember it for sure because I told them if you're fishing the lake anytime soon, this is the color. Gosh, no, Outlaw is one of them. Outlaw, is that a
Mm.
like a all lime?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay,
And some
Outlaw.
Muglow color.
Off the wall, I usually never use that style, but we had a bad flood. The water muddied up real bad, and it just seemed like Outlaw was a really good color for a couple months that I really threw a lot. And I don't ever hardly talk about that color, but it was pretty good for that time frame. So Outlaw, Bleeding Shad, and Double Silver Rainbow. But Brad, I know one of your three is Double Silver Rainbow, so I got to
Yeah.
switch it out. And let's see another color I grab. I'm trying not to be lame and say, monkey milk or live
Mm-hmm.
minnow or threadfin shad because that's a lot. Ooh, pecan cream. I've got to. I have to do
I mean, it's
it.
your pick, so I mean,
Pecan
it's
cream.
no
Yeah,
right
that's
or
right.
wrong there.
It's so hard though to pick top three. You know it is. It's so hard.
For me,
I might
of
use three
course,
colors in 1 hour. You never know
10
with me.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I'm gonna say probably my three top colors for this year would have been double silver rainbow. Absolutely was chomping at the bit for the itty bit to come out.
Oh yeah.
Slab hunter, and it did, and
Ooh,
it did not disappoint by no stretch of the means. So I'm gonna say double silver rainbow. And outlaw this spring was really, really hot for me as well for a long period of time. Just
really? That's
yeah,
crazy.
outlaw
We
was
never we
real
didn't
hot for
talk
me a
about
long
it
time.
very much, but that's crazy you say that because I have a
Yeah,
bunch of them too because I ordered them big old bulk of them just because it was so good that time of year. I tried a
yeah.
lot of colors and it was just one of them deals where that one stood out. If I was getting one fish out of five to eat, and they're really picky, that outlaw would
Mhm.
get 3 out of 5 to eat. It was just a night and day difference from any other color I was dropping for a while.
And maybe if I had to pick up a third color that I thought was really consistent all year, man, blue chrome would have to be there because
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
just used it from last year, at the beginning of 25 throughout the year,
Hmm.
and it's just been a whether I was long lining, whether I was
Yeah.
casting itty
Hmm.
bits,
I see blue
or
chrome on your rigs before for sure.
yeah, I mean it's definitely would it
It's
definitely
either
be
I
my
broke
top
out
three
there or
thing.
you did. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see that, but
Another one that I have to mention. It's like an honorable mention. You have to have one of those, and it would be Patriot. I used a lot of Patriot too. That's a sleeper color that a lot of people don't talk about as Patriot.
ETX Christie says Lake of the Pines, Texas caught a very nice 2-man limit fishing on timber main lake points adjacent to the river. Lots of black and white crappie mix. Suspended
Oh
20
yeah,
foot on structure, 23 to 26 foot of water.
or
Deep
that's
water fish. I've
dialed
always
there.
heard Lake of the Pines, those fish get
Deep
pretty
water
deep over there
fish.
as well.
Listen to you. Yeah, though that sounds like a good fish sport. I've actually talked to a couple guys fishing Lake of the Pines right now. Seems like a lot of people love to go to that lake this time of year. Like the winter time is the Lake of the Pines time. Catch those big old fish. A few big old black crappie in there too.
Let's see. Sean Hillman caught a few last week. Best day was Saturday on Ross Barnett. Caught several nice ones on the main lake on the upper side of the river ledges around structure using a dark head, small clear split tail, red and blue glitter, some thumping it hard. I missed as many as I caught. Probably my hook was too small. Most of the structure fish were 20 foot and were near the bottom.
Small hook will do you that the way sometimes if you get excited and set that
Mm-hmm.
booger too hard. I may be known for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Back to the fog. Stort said that he's seen a couple of guys on jet skis running in the fog on the res. My goodness, what in the
Yeah.
world is wrong with people? Maybe those were like some rentals they were in for Christmas and running them.
Christmas Eve, I seen, and maybe I don't know if Torch is out there that day or not. Um, but I seen four different people on jet skis for on
Man,
Christmas Eve.
that's crazy. That's
Oh no,
crazy.
excuse me. It was actually Tuesday before Christmas Eve when I seen them out there
Yeah.
on the
I
roads.
think it was pretty bad fog a little bit everywhere because we had incredible fog too for a couple of days. I even had to push the trip back until about 11 o'clock to go back out. Danny Riddle, he said, "How about a little lesson on open water fishing, when and where, and how to locate on forward facing sonar?" And he
Yeah.
said, "Brad, need a turnip green report from the Dust Dash Kid." Yeah, Danny, the turnip green is not a try yet. I haven't got to eat them yet. We should name a color though. Turnip green. We should make a
Huh?
turnip green Bobby Garland.
It would
As much
probably
as
be a
we
really
bring,
good one.
oh, I guarantee it. As much as we bring it up, but I will eventually get that turnip green, and I will let you guys know. I'll hit it up eventually. I just got to gain the
Uh,
curve up.
the open water part with forward facing sonar, what I like to do is set my range out to about 100 foot, and I'm using a 34 transducer. So I set my range out at 100 foot and I roll. I mean, last Tuesday I ran really hard, just trying to pick up fish because what I come across last week was a layer of shad that were literally anywhere from 14 foot deep all the way to the bottom, just solid shad. And I really felt like those crappie, or a lot of them were up mixed in that shad ball and up underneath them. And the fish that I could come across were up above them. So I would set my range out at 100 feet and roll. And I mean, probably running sometimes close to 2 miles an hour and having my range set out 100 foot. And as soon as I seen a blip come up on the screen, I'd hit the power brake, start slowing down the boat,
Oh yeah.
and then pick them up. But I had to cover a lot of water last week. And for me, that was one of the biggest keys is covering water fast.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I hadn't ran that hard just because of the shad layer was so thick. So I like setting my range out at a long distance. And after I identified, hey, those shad are about 14 foot and down, I didn't pay any attention to those fish. That ball of
Hmm.
wall of bait fish, I just looked for that blimp up above them,
It's funny.
and that's how I really
Yeah.
concentrated on fish last week.
That's the exact same thing going on right now. You got to find like the line of shad, and then they're always normally going to be above them. The ones in them or lower are just worthless to try to catch. And
Yeah,
there's always usually when you're chasing those Roman fish on forward facing sonar, there's always like a certain depth of fish that are more aggressive than all the other depths.
yeah,
And usually when you're guiding, you'll just zone into that depth, like 12 to 14 foot. If them fish are in that
yeah.
2 to 3 foot, you're smoking them. But if you're seeing fish 2 foot deep and they don't want to bite, it almost like they all stay the same throughout all that column.
I
So
agree.
that's
It's like
another
a
cool
memo gets
thing.
put out. Hey,
Yeah, yeah, they all make a phone call. I mean, can always die
if
laughing.
you're not
Like
in that
everybody,
10
yeah,
to
don't
14
bite.
foot layer, don't bite. We're not
Exactly.
biting today.
That's a fact. And then Grenada sometimes, if they're not 2 inches to 6 inches under the surface, don't even drop on them. You just want the fish high in the column. It's so weird how they do that, but it's the truth. It can happen like that sometimes.
I've got Barry from, he said, Rough River Lake in Kentucky caught 17 Friday from the bank, fish in the river, and fish are on the bank to avoid the current. Live roamer, bleeding shad, 2 foot deep with a float. That's awesome.
Oh
That right
my,
there.
that is epic. That
That is
sounds fun.
awesome.
Watching a bobber go down like that. Tom Sprouse's goal for the new year is to catch a 3 pound crappie. That's a heck of a goal there, Tom. Heck of a goal.
Tom, give me a shout and we can make it happen.
Yeah, that's right. I like the confidence there.
Hmm.
How about we can try to make it happen, Brad?
We will try to make it happen.
Yeah,
That is
that's
probably better.
right. England Expeditions, he said, "Good evening, fellas. I seen he's been whooping up on some crappie too. Man, he's got to be close where he's at to freezing over. He gets some really cold weather out there in Illinois, I believe." Charles Henderson said he's planning on fishing res on New Year's Day. I think that's the only way to start the New Year's is rip on
Yeah.
some fish. Tim Smith, last few trips on Ross Barnett focused on River Channel, waiting on fish to suspend above the shad. The shad were very thick. Caught 75% on of fish were specks. Ooh, he got into the black crappie out there on the res.
I seen Tim other day and I
Uh
seen where
oh,
he was fishing at.
that's awesome.
It was
Tim,
tough. It's definitely you had to cover a lot of water, drop on a lot of fish to do any
yeah.
good
You
last
think a
week.
lot of them were down in the shad, Brad? Surely,
Yeah,
just a bunch were just stacked
yeah,
in there. I
yeah. I mean,
guarantee.
that's why you had to cover so much water. It was just
Hmm.
they were just
I'll
living
tell
their
you how I
best life.
know at Grand they have to be just stacked in there, like you said, living their best life. Because I've seen, when I'm catching catfish bait, you'll throw a net over just this huge ball of shad, 2 or 3 giant crappie will be in there, and it's
Hmm.
like you didn't see them on the screen at all. So they're
Yeah,
they're hunkered in the shad just in the middle. And when they get hungry, they just turn their head and doop.
yeah.
Dustin
Um,
Shields said he had a good trip on Pickwick Friday. The fish were right off the bottom in 18 to 20 foot flats off the main creek channel. Small hair jigs were the ticket. Everybody's starting to go small. It's that time of year where you're going to be
mhm.
throwing the itty bits and just smallest baits you can get away with.
Jonathan of YouTube is asking, what fillet knife are you guys using? I know we're probably using the same one. So
Oh yeah. Here's the thing: if you ain't using a Rapala, however they pronounce it, heavy duty R12 knife, I don't know if you're serious about cleaning fish. You can
yeah,
take it to the bank. And I've went through several knives, and that's by far the best knife for just being fluent, clean, and fast with everything. The
yeah,
the the motor's so high powered. I've
100%.
tried the Bubba. I've tried so many different ones, and there ain't one that touches it. I promise you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't know how many. I've probably had a Rapala R12 for five,
And I
six
didn't even
years
know
now.
which knife you were using, so
Hmm.
I
Oh,
just figured,
I
yeah.
remember because we were used it at
Oh
Fort
yes,
Smith last.
yes, yes. You're right. Yes,
So
gotcha.
Rapala R12, you can't go
R12.
wrong
Yeah,
with.
you got to get the heavy duty, and it is the bee's knees. I used the corded one forever, and it was a lot less power, but you can still clean fish great with it. But just buy once, cry once. Get that knife. You will not regret it. Customer service is great. Everything's good with it. So
Hmm.
far, it's been amazing.
Uh, I've come back and WC Call 17. He says, "Where y'all from?" Dustin, where you from? I say he's a
I
Cowboy fan, so I'm gonna say he's from
uh
Texas.
oh, I would say he is too. I am from originally Baxter Springs, Kansas, which is a little bitty town in southeast Kansas, bottom right corner of Kansas, right by all the four corners there. But now I'm in Oklahoma by Grand Lake, Oklahoma, and Grove, Oklahoma, which is only about 30-40 minutes from Baxter. So I've been around here my whole life.
I'm from Central Mississippi. Lived here all my life. Got on Lake Washington, Eagle Lake, and also Ross Barnett.
Oh yeah,
Just see.
you never know
I
where you'll see us.
this 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 is a good question, and I don't know the answer, James.
We got some good ones tonight.
I do not know the answer to this yet. Maybe you guys even tell us what we need to do it on. But he says, "What will you two speak on when you hit the stage in Caruthersville at Grizzly Jig?"
Ooh, that is a good question. That's a real
Um,
good question. How about you guys tell us what we should speak on? Whoever's coming, you have to be coming to be able to put in a word for it, though. That's the thing. That's the ticket.
yeah.
But
Uh,
heck, we'll speak on whatever. I've really learned how to change diapers like a pro. So we could do a tutorial on something like that.
mm-hmm.
I'm a new
Mm-hmm.
man this year. New year, new me. Oh man.
I definitely asked for that one, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we can do it on anything. I feel like some of the funnest things is just like today's bite. I like going with the flow,
Yeah,
and I've done a lot on long line trolling, which I love to talk about it and teach people how to do it even better. Uh, Forward facing sonar. I mean, Dust is good as they get, and
yeah.
I'm decent. But
Oh yeah,
we'll do
whatever.
whatever you guys want us to.
Hey, the old man still got it, boys. Don't let him fool you.
Oh yeah.
Courtney Sanders, she said, "Hey, y'all, me and Dad went fishing Saturday, and we were using B&M poles and eye hole jig with toughies, and we couldn't see anything. I hope y'all have a wonderful week." Hey, at least she's honest. She gives us all she's using and said couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Courtney, you guys have a good holiday as well. Hopefully, everybody had a good Christmas, and you got that new boat you were wanting. I remembered. See, I'm like Santa Claus, but
We did.
hopefully you got that new boat, and things are looking good. But you
Hmm.
maybe you didn't see anything because you had the toughies. If you ask Brad, that's why you didn't see anything.
That's exactly what happened. Dwight, Lake Monroe, Indiana, overcast, slick, calm, 40-degree water, ice just melted, slight stain, found better crappie, mid creek, roaming in channel, and channel edges, gorging on the bait. Natural colors work best. Great fish report there as well.
Absolutely, man. Everybody's on fire. You know what it is? It's so cold. Everybody's just sitting in here and wanting to talk crappie, and I can't blame you. Donald McCormick, I appreciate you very much. He said he enjoyed this year's shows. Well, I hope so, Donald. It sure flew by, and sometimes I don't know. You want the best show every show. It's pretty hard sometimes, but
Yeah.
uh, we're getting better. I feel like it's getting a lot easier.
Um,
Uh oh, Toledo been
uh,
report.
Charles Henderson says, Dustin, are you going to eat your black eyed peas and cabbage
uh
for New Year's?
Here's the deal, Brad. Charles, I love you, but I actually skipped that comment just because I didn't want you guys to give me all the backlash of that. Because I've already got so much backlash with the turnip greens, but the black eyed peas and the cabbage. I will say my mother-in-law usually does the black eyed peas, and I will like just eat one to say I did. But they, Brad, don't tell me you eat them peas like you like them. Don't
Like a
even start.
by the 5-gallon bucket
Oh
load.
my gosh. See, that's what's wrong with you. That's why you like the turnip
Hmm.
greens. Now the cabbage deal, count me out. I can't ever get past the smell of cabbage.
Ah,
And let me guess, Brad, you eat the cabbage by the bowl
oh,
full
I
too, don't you?
love cabbage. Yeah.
So I thought it was just a black eyed pea deal for New Year's. So when is this
Mm-mm.
cabbage thing came into play? Is
Like
that
forever.
forever? Okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
like
One of them
forever.
deals again. Okay. Yeah, but guess
I heard
what,
another
Charles?
one
I'm
today.
on. Oh, here we
Um,
go.
that you're no, and I'm not. I'm sure my wife is listening to me right now, but I've heard that you're not supposed to wash clothes on New Year's Day.
Okay, I have heard
Clean your
that.
house.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't ever heard that
I've
before.
I've heard you're not supposed to do any of that either. So
Wash away your good luck. She just said it in the background over here.
okay, wash away
I
your
didn't
good
know
luck.
that.
Makes sense. Oh, I've always heard that. It's been a real deal, yeah. But you'll never have to worry about me doing that on New Year's. Don't you guys ever worry about me.
Let's see. I got Emilite, Light 83, Central Illinois. Had a week without ice on and caught them good 3 of the days in 36 to 40 degree water. Now back fridge 19 degrees outside, maybe first of next year. Should be back in the 40s.
Man,
Man,
you'll get
I,
back after it.
you get tired of the summertime, or at least I do. I get tired of the heat every day, and I'm like, man, I can't wait for when it gets
Yeah,
cooler. And then
yeah.
all of a
And
sudden
then now we're
it
ready
gets
for
colder, and you're like, ugh.
exactly. Man, I like my hot coffee in the mornings in some cold weather. It doesn't bother me too much as long as it's fishable and you can be somewhat comfortable. But that 9 degrees, 10 degrees, that's some brutal stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Even
not
in
good with
20.
that either.
Yeah, no, that hurts. Marty Perry
Perry
said,
says,
"Oh, I beat you
uh,
to
go
it."
ahead.
Fish are finally moving into the creeks at Toledo Bend. Purple monkey baby shad, 6 to 8 foot on structure. That's some shallow fish, and that's fun, man. That's got to be great this time of year.
Oh, got a good one. Perry said, don't forget Mayflower was a great color as well. Um, Will James Robinson, he said, got skunked upriver of Barnett Sunday. Went back this afternoon for redemption. Fish brush piles in 15 to 20 foot and caught around 20 fish. Kept 10 double silver rainbow. Itty bit was a ticket for me today. Hey, I'm sure you're sold on that color already. Sounds like so.
Oh yeah,
Definitely a killer.
for sure. Where am I at here? Oh, okay, here we go. Um, man, did you do
Mr.
Robbie
Robbie?
Webb's? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I
Okay.
seen it though.
Yeah, I like all these fishing reports. See, you guys
I
don't know
like
how
it though.
much I actually take all these fishing reports and put them just in the memory box, just in
Hmm.
case. But he said, caught a limit today on Eagle Lake in 19 foot of water, 2 foot off the bottom, using crappie magnet monkey milk with split chartreuse tail. Plan on doing it again tomorrow. My man. Hey, why
Absolutely.
not? Why not?
I'm getting close enough now that I'm just about wrapped up with my project up here that I won't be up, working, remodeling as much. So I'm going to be hitting the lakes pretty hard and heavy this rest of the month. So if you guys need a trip in Mississippi, give me a shout.
You bet. And he's got to get the other house remodeled now.
Oof, I'm about done for a little
Man,
while.
I bet you're going to be there all summer at that one there, though. You're going to be
Oh, yeah.
enjoying them. Saturday morning, Dean Bow, Bayou, Bew. Anyway, Saturday morning on the St. John's had two fish on with nine flopping in the bottom of the boat
Ooh,
and a turkey gobbling at the same time, close to a triple digit day. Man,
ooh.
put the whooping on him. That is awesome. Congrats on that fishing trip.
How was you fishing? I'd like to hear that, Dean. What?
I'm going to say if he's whooping them like that on St. John's, he may have been pulling. What do you think?
It sounds like a pulling report to me.
Yeah,
St.
yeah.
John's sounds
I've
like,
always noticed a spider rigging or pulling there. It seems like what a lot of people do.
yeah, that sounds like a pulling report.
Sean Hillman said, Brad, what's your idea on what the fish will be doing New Year's on the res after this cold snap? And how do you think, or how did you do the last week there?
For me, what I think they'll be doing, I don't think they're going to be changing up much at all for the next, you know, 2 months on the res. Concentrating really on the river channel, no matter what part of the lake on. I'm gonna look near the river channel right now. I looked at some shallow water last week. Didn't see anything that I really liked as far as numbers of fish. Um, we had to cover a lot of water last week to catch fish. Tough bite. I mean, literally, I felt like we would get a reaction, man, one out of a dozen fish. The other 11 would completely ignore it or just swim off.
Yeah,
Bait had to be very still, had to sit on their nose for, you know, a minute to 2 minutes. And it just had to be really, the fish almost got agitated with it before they'd come up and bite it. We
yeah.
caught fish, but a hard bite, not easy. Let's see.
When do you think it'll pick up, Brad? You gonna need a first like little warm push
Well, I think
or
it's just
adapt to
stable.
this a little bit?
I
Yeah,
want
yeah, stable.
stable weather.
Yeah.
Something that it's not jumping up or down. I don't think
Hmm.
this weather, when it jumps up and gets really warm, helps out the fishing any more than a cold front does necessarily.
Hmm.
But you give me about 5 days of stable weather, temperature wise, and I think you're in the money no matter really what it is. But
Yeah.
stable weather is my really key.
People are agreeing with us on the Rapala R12. A
Mm.
lot of people have used the Bubba, and even Steven said, "Don't use the Bubba. I will give you mine. It's the worst." It's not. I haven't had terrible luck with the Bubba. It's just slower to me, a lot slower. I can't clean them near
Yeah,
as
slower RPM to me
efficient.
too.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's
Um,
funny though is, well, it's actually Old Timer and Bubba. That is the same owner, I believe. It's just funny how they work like that.
Danny said, watch one of the videos I did with side scan and figured out what to look for. I love to hear that. I use live scope, but I think since I watched the video, I can cover more water with side scan and come back with live scope. This is exactly right.
For
Exactly
sure.
what I like to do. Let's
Um,
see.
Bob and Linda Bobby and Linda,
Hmm.
they said, Dustin, Linda said if you would come visit us, we would fix you some turnip greens, cornbread, and guarantee that you would love them. And a
I
pork chop
guarantee you
and
that too.
hey, a pork chop and baked sweet potato with lots of butter. Now I will be there for that. I promise you. Just that part alone, you don't even got to pull the turnip greens out. How far they live from you, Brad? We're getting serious now. I'm
Only way that will work, Dustin, is I get to
If you could
invite them
come with,
fishing.
listen, I'll travel for a meal
Hmm.
like that. You don't understand. I'm a food connoisseur.
You would love it.
Oh, I guarantee it. I can smell it through the phone, man. I'm telling you, that sounds amazing. Uh,
Let's see. Jeff's asking a question. He says, "At what water temp do crappie not roam of get slower?" I'm trying to gather that
meaning
one.
like, yeah, meaning when do they stop roaming? Man, I'm
Well,
not
I
sure.
think suspended wise, I think these fish will suspend all through these colder temperatures.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
you'll see days they go down to the bottom and they'll just be living their little best life
yeah.
or
Mm.
on the bottom. But I think they'll be scattered and suspended all through these cooler, cold conditions through the winter.
Yeah, I'd almost say he's meaning when will the bite get slower too? Like when do they stop roaming and the bite get slower? But
Mm.
they'll roam year round. Honestly, you can find roaming fish year round if you wanted to. But definitely the roaming months are right now all the way till March or April for us for sure.
Jeff, he says this is a great goal for this year. He says my goal this year is to actually catch a full limit of crappie in central Illinois. Just got back into fishing this fall, and I strictly fish for crappie, but never been great at it. Well, Jeff, let me tell you,
Welcome to the
we can
club, everybody.
we're going to help you out. Keep tuning
You
in
bet.
every week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Um, Also, you're not that far from Grizzly Jig Show. Make sure you look it up. It'll be at the end of the month, end of January, and man, they'll have so many seminars. You'll learn a good deal, a lot, really, in a couple of days up there. So make sure you see us up there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Steve Reynolds, he said Fish Cur Lake last week. Water was 40 degrees. When you dropped on a fish, they would ignore it and swim off. Started chasing them, and if you dropped on them again, they would bite. Sometimes it took 3 drops before they would bite.
Aggravating.
Steve, I was going to say I got a crazy theory on this one. The fish are cold, and 40 degrees is cold water, so they're kind of lethargic. And when you kind of bump them with that bait, and they kind of get fired up moving, I think kind of heats them up a little bit and gets them kind of fired up to eat. So after you're dropping on them, pushing them a little bit, they
Hmm.
kind of start to feel a little hungry compared to just sitting there kind of
Yeah.
dormant. That's a theory of mine.
I-
Makes sense
Ke-
though.
Kelly says, I appreciate y'all's comments on the Black Diamond B&M 18-foot jig poles. I used that pole actually last Wednesday as well. Really enjoy the shows. Northwest Arkansas, Beaver Lake, home lake. Man, glad to have you there,
Hey, you
Kelly.
bet. I'm not far from you at all there. I've fished Beaver Lake a couple times. Great lake. You should enjoy there. Sam Kirtley said, healthy, wealthy, and wise on New Year's Day refers to
I see that.
Southern U.S. traditions of eating lucky foods, pork, wealth, progress. Leafy greens is for the money, and the black eyed peas is for the luck and coins. Plus, cornbread is for the gold. Man,
Ooh. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've heard. Well, I do all of those, Sam. I'm right there
that's
with you.
epic. Now, yeah, where's the money went at again? What do I need to eat? What do I need to eat for the wealth here? The cabbage.
Cabbage. So you've got to
Yeah,
eat cabbage.
someone put on their cabbage smells good the next day too.
Hmm.
Man, that's funny.
William said Dustin must be just a meat and potato kind of guy.
That's me. You know what I always say? I'm not a rabbit. Do I look like a little rabbit to you?
No,
I'm a meat and taters guy. Always have been, always will be. But I'm up for trying new things for sure. Uh, yeah, I love me some fried fish and a ribeye steak bone in ribeye. I don't think it
I
gets
agree.
much better than that. He was long lining. Dean was long lining out there.
Oh,
We were right on
yeah.
that. Yep, yep.
That sounds like a long line of bike for sure.
Oh yeah.
Guys, right now the progress report for the tonight's show. We're at 242 likes between the two platforms, 215 people watching, and we've been maintaining that. Next year, I think our goal for
Oh,
2026.
here we go. Hmm.
This would be good just for today's
Yeah,
bike,
yeah, just for us on the show together. Yeah,
just
because we
for
have to have
our
our
today's bike.
individual ones. Yeah, yeah.
So, what do you say? Is it possible to hit 300 likes a show? You think
Each show.
each show? We're hitting 250. I mean,
Oh, you lost your mind.
do you think we could do it?
I'm thinking you just gotta, you gotta start out with baby steps so we can at least reach the goal and feel good about it. I'm gonna say 275. We'll
I'm
meet
in
in the
at
middle there. 275.
275.
Yeah, 275 show average.
Okay, we're at 249. So now I think we can hit. We're just about our
Okay.
goal for
We're gonna
2025
get
to hit
there.
everything.
You bet.
So we'll see about
Yes.
275 if we can do it or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can make it happen. David Pruitt, he said, I cut the trigger guard off the Bubba the first day. Hated that. He hasn't
Hmm.
tried the R12. David, go get that R12 and ask or have no more problems, buddy. Trust me
Hmm.
when I tell you. You can take that to the bank. Randy Watkins, he said, it seems to me that they are going to the back of the creeks, 45 degrees. They will chase, but a little bit of a stall. They can't seem to resist it. Okay, got you. So he's saying like give the bait a little stall while they're chasing it.
This is a great. Jeff's asking. He says, pulling jigs on river system, I assume the current speed has to be factored in. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Um, going against the current, of course, your jigs are going to go higher. It's just like adding another, bumping up your trolling motor to go faster. So it's going to make those jigs definitely go higher in the water column. The biggest thing about pulling for rivers for me was the current was, you know, I still wanted to have something that a lot of current, I don't think crappie really like to get out in the current. So I like pulling over some kind of brush if it's going to have to be in a river system current wise, and bring the jigs over the top of that stump or brush pile or whatever it might be those fish are holding on. But it seems like they still like to have that bait coming over the top of them. Um, I haven't seen too much success going into the current. Most of mine's been going with the current as far as pulling goes. So maybe that's a little bit of insight on that deal. Mr. Bernard Williams says the waves were 2.5 foot on Friday. Couldn't hold the jig on them. Had to cast to them. Caught 12 big ones on brush pile. Bernard, that's all good, but don't be on my brush piles, brother.
It's all
I'm
good
kidding.
until he sees you on them brush
Nah,
piles.
just don't be on the little brush piles out there.
Hey, 12 big ones will get you fed too. That's a good mess of fish.
James, he says, let's see, going down.
We
Little dog, she's got a
what do you got? Oh, that dog. What's its name again?
Maggie. She's got a cricket in the
Maggie.
cabin here.
Oh yeah, she's
She's
cleaning the
going,
new cabin up.
yeah, she's having a little battle with a cricket on the floor.
She's about the size of that cricket.
Yeah, a little battle going down here. He says, James is asking, is Friday less crowded than Saturday at Grizzly Show? Planning on being there Friday and need to reserve a hotel room early. Yeah, you need to reserve a hotel early, I'd say. And we typically stay, um, good Lord, what's the name of that?
Gosh,
I'll think of it in a minute. I'll
you
get
said
back
it
with you,
last
James.
show, but I forgot.
I know it. It's in
I was hoping you
Hayti,
already had our rooms
Missouri.
booked, Brad.
I know I will. Uh, Durian and Hayti is typically where we stay at.
Jurian.
Um, okay. James again, he says, how do you decide on X sinker or sonar stick weight size on long polling? What factors dictate which?
It's a very good question. I always probably go a lot heavier than I need to just because I have zero patience on when I move my pole left, right, up and down and all that. I like to just get there fast. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going a half ounce weight no matter what. Right off the hit, I'm going half ounce above it. And I might even go crazier on a windier day because, it even takes longer and when you're dropping, everything's slowing way down on a windier day. But when you're having to control the boat, the last thing you want to do is worry about waiting on your bait to get there because when you see the fish and you got everything set up, you want to get the bait there fast for me.
Half ounce is my all around weight that I prefer to use. Um, I will go up as high as an ounce, but half ounce, as long as the fish aren't running hard and
Yeah,
over a
yeah.
mile an hour
I was
fish,
about to just say that.
a one
Yeah.
ounce fish, a
If you
one
have
ounce
spooky
weight.
fish, I'll definitely lighten it up. If I'm fishing by myself too, I'll
Yeah.
go as light as I can get away with that I'm comfortably fishing. I love if the fish are up shallow and there's no wind. I don't know if there's much better than just grabbing a long pole, 16, 17, 18 foot pole, flipping one jig out with no weight or anything, 8 ounce jig, and just dropping it on their heads when they're aggressive and pounding them like that is a blast. You really feel that bite when you do that just to the jig, but again, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably having a half ounce weight above
Kevin, he says, I'm not professional at using live scope and even worse at trying to teach my wife about it. Brad,
it.
are you patient enough to teach a beginner lady about live scope?
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, I have fun
Look,
no matter
Brad puts
what.
up with me every Tuesday night. You think he's got
Yeah,
patience? I guarantee you he's got
I
that.
got a lot of patience. My
That's
main
funny,
thing is
Brad.
have fun.
I'm sure you've had couples come and he's like, "Can you teach me and my wife to?" I've had a lot of that because it's hard to not
Uh-huh.
lose patience with them for sure.
It, it's all about fun and games to me, and we're gonna fish hard and have a good time at it. But yeah, it don't matter to me. I mean, I like taking no matter everybody fishing. So let's see.
Brad said his patience is getting a lot thinner the more he gets gray right here.
No, thankfully
Oh
not.
man. Stuart Crafty said he's so surprised more folks are not tuning in every week. If for any reason he misses it, he has to watch it ASAP. Good stuff right here. Stuart, I appreciate it, man. We're
Absolutely.
slowly but surely we're growing for sure. Marty Perry said y'all can't fill that jig with the big weight above it. So he's saying you can't feel that bite with the big weight above it. Sometimes you can't, but a lot of that's to do with the bite. I also would say uh, it's the way you set up your weight because you can get where you feel that bite pretty good. The only way I don't feel my bite is if I go really small under your weight. Like if you're a 16th or smaller, sometimes you can lose that bite, and not feel it. I'd say you can feel a 16th. I'm talking even smaller. When you're using the itty bits and you're really getting
Hmm.
small, I have a hard time feeling the bite. But uh, those Dragon Masters, I feel them pretty good with that, I'd say. And I think it's
Hmm.
just because it's a lot straighter line through it. But you have to
Um,
watch the bite a lot.
I watch the bite a lot.
Yeah, probably 90% of the time anymore. You're watching it. I will say though, Brad, when you watch it and you have the pole, you feel the bite a lot because I don't know if you're almost just expecting to feel it and you're really tuned into feeling it, but you feel it a lot. But a lot of times with clients just not watching or anything, they don't feel the bite. You're telling them when to set
Hmm.
the hook.
Hmm.
90%.
Let's see here.
Table Meat Jigs has a good question. He said, half ounce even when you're fishing brush or just chasing Roman fish? I'm definitely just doing that chasing Roman fish. When I'm
Mhm.
fishing a brush pile, whole different setup. I'll go a lot lighter and make sure my bait stays on top. That's a good question though. Yeah, if that's my Roman fish setup, casting across top of brush piles or dropping straight down, I'm going a lot lighter because those fish aren't moving, and you're not having to move left and right a lot chasing them down. They're just stationary fish, so you can throw a lot of light stuff down there, and they're not going to go anywhere.
For me, if I'm fishing a lot of brush, typically, I like casting that brush more than I like vertically over the top of it, just because our fish are are
Spooky.
pretty spooky,
Yeah.
and they feel that presence of that boat. And on the Ross Barnett, you know, 20 foot is a rarity to fish in. So those fish are typically a lot shallower than that.
Yeah.
So I very rarely, but if I was just going to sit on a brush pile, I would go a lot lighter than a half ounce. And I'm mainly
Yeah.
talking that half ounce open water
You're going to
suspended
throw
fish.
either 2/16 ounces or you're going to throw a 16th and a 32nd.
Yep. Day in and day out.
Yeah. Sean, Stephen King said he's never missed a show since he started watching. Stephen, that is impressive. That is pretty awesome, man.
That is a VIP guy
There,
there.
honestly, yeah. I mean, that deserves. You better never
That's
let me see you,
VIP guy
Stephen.
status.
You're getting the hug. When I see you, you're getting the hug, buddy.
Yeah. And a sticker.
And a sticker. You know what? And a pack of baits.
Dang. Why
Yeah,
not?
it's just going to keep coming. If I have something else on me at the time, just ask. Sean Hillman, he said, interested in getting the Millennium Sidekick two-person seat. Either of you use one, or what do you use for getting someone else sitting up front with you? That's
Great
the way to
question.
go, man. Millennium Sidekick's a really good setup for that. I've got two seats up front. Um, gosh, I've used several different things, but that's about as good as it gets for if you're wanting to just fish next to somebody like that. It's hard to beat.
Ultimately, in all honesty, is put two base mounts in your deck of your boat.
Yeah,
Uh, Ultimately, that's the way to do it.
yeah, that's what I
If there's
have.
any way possible, I was able enough to convert from a pedestal style, and when I didn't have two bases up front of my boat, and I actually got it from Grizzly Jig years ago, and it was a fixed position two seater that I put across the front of the boat and just latched it down until I got the sea deck this past year and did away with that. And now I've just got two pedestal bases,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
what.
really the easiest.
Yeah, just because then you don't have to mess with it no more driving and setting everything down. And then I always get frustrated with the sidekick of having to pick your seat up and move it to do anything. You've got to pick it up and slide it to do
Yeah.
anything. But if you don't have the option of two pedestals, that's the only way really to get comfortable fishing with two people.
Table meat jigs. He says, "Gotcha. I've been swinging a quarter ounce jig with a 16th ounce hair jig when pitching down trees in 20 foot in the reservoirs."
Hey, honestly, that'll work too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a bad setup he's talking about there. Honestly, I would probably use that pitching on some standing timber like that.
You know,
Good stuff.
Dustin, I think we can hit, in 2026 this whole 300. We're real close tonight.
What do we got?
But right now we're at 288 likes between the two
Oh man,
platforms.
man. I'm telling you, 300 gonna be
You're
tough.
scared of 300, aren't
I know. You know what? It's time to face our fears. New year, new me. We're gonna do
you?
300. That's gonna be our goal.
Mhm. That means we're going to need a
Let's just
lot
do
of
it.
help from you guys.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. If you can't be scared about it.
Dennis said he fished Christmas and the crappie was at about 3 to 6 inches deep.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. You know why I'm not scared, Brad? My man Philip Rivers came back out of retirement and played 44 years old. It had been 5 years since he played football. He came out and did darn good. Did you see that? Did you keep up with
Mm-hmm.
football very much? Man, that was like the most heroic story. I was so ready for him to make a movie over that, but he ended up not winning any of the games. But dang it, man, that was pretty awesome. His speeches and everything was pretty awesome. So that's why you can't be scared in life,
Can't be scared.
You can't be scared.
Can't be scared.
God didn't put the
Uh,
spirit of fear in you.
I like it. I
That's
agree.
facts.
Jeff's asking, what is your average distance you stay off of a brush pile? I don't like getting really any closer
30 foot.
than 25, 25 to 40. I set my forward facing sonar range at 40, and I like it between 25 and 35. That brush pile be right there, and that's kind of the little sweet spot to say.
Yeah. Don't be afraid though, because I'm total opposite. I like to get right on top of them if they'll let me, and
Yeah.
and I just pitch out, 4 or 5 foot, and let it just kind of swing down to them. But if they're spooky like that, Brad's definitely on. I'd be 30 foot, 25 to 30 foot easily. A comfortable cast away, for sure.
Dustin,
Uh oh.
we're at
Did we get
three
300?
3:01.
Let's go. I
Dude,
knew
that's
we could do it, and
awesome.
it's right at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
We might have set a new record for 2025.
Hey, that is a great way to end it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Um, got a first time subscriber here, GP Outdoor. Thank you for subscribing. We won't disappoint you in 2026. We're here
For sure.
every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Cannot thank you guys enough for joining us every single week. We'll be back next Tuesday night in 2026. We won't see you for until
Yeah,
next
yeah,
year,
it'll
but
be a whole year. Yeah, we'll see you guys next year.
we'll see
Lord
you next
willing,
year.
7 o'clock Tuesday night, and we'll talk about all the great New Year special that we
We
had.
might got some different things even coming out for 2026 we hadn't discussed yet.
Ooh, and I don't even know what he's talking about. That'll tell you. Yeah. But
Yeah.
right after he shuts this live off, I'm going to be having to get the beans, and I'm not talking about the black-eyed peas, black-eyed
One,
beans.
one more question, and we got to go.
Okay.
Randy says, let's talk about setting a live scope in less than 7 foot of water. For me, Randy, I don't care if I'm in 3 foot of water. My live scope setting is never going to go shallower than 10 foot on my screen. I'm gonna have that depth set at 10 foot, no matter if I'm in 2 foot of water, 9 foot of water.
Yeah.
It's never gonna go any shallower than
Agreed.
10 foot.
Agreed. You rarely find me go shallower than 20, but if
Yep.
it was like 2 to 5 foot, I might bring it to 10 foot deep. But
Hmm.
yeah, definitely, I like to keep it the same all the way around, so that way you're not thrown off on the size of fish
Yep.
and what you're looking for.
Also,
Get
we're going to
clarity of
try to
visual.
continue all the baits you purchase on lurenet.com, Bobby Garland Baits, and everything they have. That Crappie Connection code 15. We're going to try to keep it going through 2026 as well for you guys. Right now, we're still good to go on that. So use that
Yeah,
discount
and
code
I
if you
just
buy any of this
ordered
stuff.
a lot of the new colored baits. The new colors are on there. They're ready to go.
I know you used your discount code too, didn't you?
Yes, you know I did, buddy.
Okay, just
Yeah.
checking.
Crappie Connection 15,
Mhm.
lurenet.com. I appreciate you guys.
All right, guys. Thank y'all. We will see you next Tuesday night. Today's bite.
Have a blessed
Enjoy it.
year. You
Holler.
bet.
Be safe. If I can figure it out. There it goes.
Perfect.